Hello again, this is Jake Davenport with Van Dyke Software, and I'm going to demonstrate SecureCRT log file naming substitution parameters. I'll be working with a saved session I created earlier, which I'll bring up and connect with now. The first step is to edit the current session's properties. Choose Options, Session Options, or click on the corresponding toolbar button. Select the Terminal Log File category. Here you see the log file name field, which is where you configure the parameters that tell SecureCRT where to log and what to name the log file. This area below displays a partial listing of some of the common substitutions that can be used above in the log file name field to automatically set the log file name to include portions of the date and time at which logging begins, as well as the host name, session name, and so on. SecureCRT's built-in help describes more. Press F1 and search for Customize Logging Options. View the Session Options Terminal Log File topic. Press F5 to toggle search term highlighting off so it's not so busy to look at. Then scroll to the bottom of the help page where you can find a complete listing of all log file substitution variables. I've decided that I want all my logs to be saved in my Documents directory under a subfolder named SCRT_logs. I don't have to create that folder. SecureCRT will create it for me automatically when needed. I'm going to use the %username %environment variable. That way, if I move my configuration to a new machine where my username isn't the same, I won't have to change the configuration. I want to replicate the same folder structure that I see within SecureCRT's Session Manager, so I'll use %f, as in folder, to represent the parent folder path seen in the Session Manager. I want each log file to be named with the session name, %S, then the host name in parentheses, %H, and then I want a dash followed by the date and the time, %Y for the year, %M for the month, %D for the day, then a dash, %h for hour, %m for minute, %s for second, then an underscore, %t for milliseconds, then an underscore log.txt. You might naturally think of separating these time components with a colon character, but don't do that. A colon character is not allowed within file or folder names, so stick with underscores and dashes or dots. I'll turn on the Start Log Upon Connect option so that a log file will be generated automatically for me each time I connect to this host. Let's save our changes and try it out. All I have to do is disconnect and then reconnect. Run a command to generate some output that can be logged. When I open my Documents folder, I can see an SCRT logs folder, and if I drill down through the folder structure that matches my Session Manager tree, I see a log file there with substitutions filled in with the parameters marking the date and time when the log was created. Inside the file, I find each complete line that SecureCRT has received so far. If I disconnect and reconnect and run another command, show IP interface brief, I'll see a new log file gets created with date and timestamps reflecting the current time, and inside there's output specific to that session so far. Now that this session is configured to log in this way, I can copy it and apply this configuration to all my existing and future sessions by editing the default session. Options, Edit Default Session, Log File Category, paste here, turn on the Start Log Upon Connect, and apply the change to all sessions. Now, even if I use an ad hoc connection, I get a resulting log file that's timestamped. Since ad hoc connections use the default sessions settings, the log file name includes default, because that's the session that was used to establish the connection. If I want to get even more detailed, I could include date and timestamps on each line of every log file. But that's all for this video. Stay secure, my friends.